Good afternoon, everyone. Jambo, thanks for joining us today. You are part of the Fuzé Challenge webinar in Tanzania. You made a great decision being with us today. Whether you are a tech startup looking to raise funds or an international African VC investor, a local startup support organization, or simply a curious mind willing to know more about Digital Africa's activities, about our visit to Dar es Salaam this month, you are in the right place. Will walk you through the program, what you can expect from this visit to Dar es Salaam during this 45 minutes webinar. And we will have a time at the end of the session. We will answer all your questions. So please do not hesitate to drop your questions in the chat box or in the Q&A session, depending on the platform for which you are attending this webinar. So before we dive in and we cover all these topics, let's get to know our dear and amazing panelists here with us today. And I will start with you, Itoro. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about the quest that you are representing here today?
Thank you very much, Ayub, and thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm very happy to be here. My name is Itoro Emembolu. I'm the director at TechQuest Academy. It's an innovation hub that is based in Nigeria, and we are committed to building entrepreneurship and developing talent across Africa. So far, we've impacted over 50,000 individuals. We work with entrepreneurs and startups, equipping them and providing support for them and initiatives so that they are able to provide relevant solutions and innovative solutions in the different communities. So it's a pleasure to be here.
Thanks a lot, Itoro. And you are also a Digital Africa connector, right?
Yes, I am a Digital Africa connector. We'll speak more about that.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Itoro. And then we go to Joseph and Adama.
Yes, my name is Joseph Manfred Mwanyika. I'm the Co-Chief Executive Officer at Innovate Ventures. So Innovate Ventures is an innovation support organization that focusing on working with early stage businesses, taking through different stages of technical advisory, and we do investment connection, and we also have our own micro fund where we invest between 20 to 50,000 to early stage businesses. So our fund is so in the previous years we used to do on cohort base, but from next month it's going to be on rolling basis. So we made that decision to make sure that we capture different startups rather than putting it in a short time for them to apply. So we'd rather them apply all year round, and then we'll be selecting on merit basis. So I think that's in a nutshell of what Innovate does. We'll get to hear more as the session continues. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Joseph. Thanks. Adam?
Hi, thank you very much, and a pleasure for joining us today and showing interest working with the Tanzania ecosystem. This is such a wonderful opportunity for our ecosystem. My name is Adam Roland Mbyallu, and I'm the co-founder and chief strategist for Sahara Ventures. Sahara Ventures is a group of company, 10 years old now, aim at building a stable innovation, technology, and entrepreneurship. We have two companies, Sahara Consulting, which is mainly consulting around innovation technology, but mostly our main work is around the accelerator. Where we have different components, including the startup venture studio, where we support early stage and growth stage startup. We're not so far from Innovate, but we build these companies with a network of database of investors of sector agonistic. We have been supporting quite a number of accelerator, high-profile accelerator, to mention could be 30 up to, producing many startups in different fronts. Some have exited, some has gone to later stage funding. We also are the organizers of one of the largest event here called Sahara Sparks. Sahara Sparks is 10 years now, where we do the marketplace of startup, matchmaking them with the investors, showcasing their work, and where possible sometimes support them to the next step on with the mentorship and training. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Adam, and we're very happy to partner with you for this challenge. We have also Vestibeli Foundation, Arusha, who are partnering for this Fuzé challenge in Tanzania. And back to Paris with my colleague Yann from Digital Africa. Up to you, Yann.
Thank you, Ayoub. Hi, everyone. My name is Yann Azandegbe. I'm an investment associate at Digital Africa. So my role is to lead the startups through our investment process, from the sourcing till the entry to our portfolio. And even after the investment, I will do the portfolio management and make sure that Digital Africa offer meets the requirement of the startup to help them with their growth strategy. And I can't wait to be in Tanzania to discover your ecosystem and what is going on the ground.
Indeed, thanks a lot, Yann and everyone for the introductions. Indeed, we are very excited at Digital Africa for this trip, for this visit to the Tanzanian ecosystem, and we can't wait to meet with the local founders, but also with our partners. Maybe before asking you a bit about the Tanzanian tech landscape, allow me to give an overview about Digital Africa, who we are and why we are here today together. So Digital Africa is a France-based organization that invests and supports African tech startups in seed and pre-seed stage. So via our fund Fuzé, we invest up to 100K euros in startups. We'll go more into details later with Yann, but we know that it's very crucial for startups, especially in the underserved ecosystems, to get access to funding. But we are aware that supporting the startups is also important. That's why we have, in addition to our investment ticket, a fully dedicated team with a very tailored offer to support the startups of our portfolio. And the Fuzzy Challenge actually is a field trip that we co-organize with our local partners to meet with the startups with the commitment to invest in at least one startup following this this visit. This is not the first edition of Fuzzy Challenge, so we'll cover that in details later. So now back to the Tanzanian tech landscape, and this is a question for all our panelists. Give us an overview about the tech startup tech landscape today in Tanzania. Let me start with you, Joseph. What can you share with the audience and with us about this?
Yes. Tanzania tech ecosystem is quite young. Though it's growing. We've seen tremendous growth in the recent years. You can see we have more startups coming from Tanzania, also competing in global challenges. Also, we have quite a number of investors coming in. So the ecosystem is actually moving. So the ecosystem is built up with, I can say, a few components or groups. So we have the startups, though a huge number of startups in Tanzania, very early stage, and we have few that are on the, we could say maybe Series A, but most of them are on seed and pre-seed. And we have, right now we have also around 2 or 3 network of angel investors, also working with these ambitious early stage founders. And we also have regulators and network of hubs and startups. So we have TSA, which it's a network that represents the need and also demand from startups. And then we have Tanzania Hub Networks. It's network of hubs to come together to maybe figure out a way to how we can both support these early stage startups. And then we have the financial institution also working to streamline their processes, to work mostly with fintechs and other tech startups. So I think in a nutshell, right now we have at least, I can say, around 70% of the support needed to the startup. I think the only thing that is kind of remaining here is a diverse, maybe diverse range of different kind of investors that is quite needed to offtake these founders. Because here right now we building a good number of pipeline, but then we don't have enough of takers. I mean, the investors that coming in to invest in this startup. So you can see that very few number of startups that are able to raise investment, though the number have grown in the recent years, but it's still very, very low. And even also when you compare the ticket size that are coming in. So yeah, so I think that on my side, I can let me end there to allow also my colleague Adam to also adapt on that.
Thanks a lot, Joseph. Adam, you are in touch with on a daily basis with local founders and other stakeholders. Tell us more.
Yeah, thank you. I think Mwanyika has covered a very good deal, and I think I was looking at the ecosystem player partners, those that he has touched most of it. I think, in addition to what he said, when we were starting 10 years ago, this ecosystem was very, very fragile, very fragmented, and honestly, corporates were very not in our fronts. Most of corporates, our early adopters, I would say, as a partners within the ecosystem, was the development sector, and at least the Commission of Science and Technology was very frontier onto it, and some little hubs. I think there were 3 to 4, but they've grown really well. Corporates later, in mid of those years, they started joining in the ecosystem, specifically telcos and financial institutions. I understand it due to the rapid change of the business model, where technology now is overtaking either in telcos or in financial institutions. But the big player also to watch in our ecosystem, which is growing really fast recently, I think is the universities. Was a key player, delayed to get in the ecosystem. Our LS founders were not coming from the universities. There were kids that were coming from the street and all. But now we are seeing a lot of founders, at least most of them, according to the new TSA's report, have graduated from the university. I think 85% of the founders now are university graduates. But also there is an interesting development within the university. Most of the universities now are starting their innovation hubs within the university. There is also something like a legal regulation or change within the university setup, where now they have been allowed to allow the pedagogical approach in teaching the students. So there is interaction of the private sector, non-academician, to get into the university and support the entrepreneurship mindset to the university. So a lot of universities have now tapping in to the ecosystem and have started the innovation hubs within the university. I'm betting the next 2 years or 3 years to come will be an exciting times in our country, where we'll be having a very good quality university, given the ambitions that are coming from this player, which is very important. Very little is coming from, and this, why are we pushing for the university? I think the issue of commercializations, research commercializations, which is a little bit lagging behind, which can prosper more quality startup in our end. But also, I think the government is coming up really good. There's a very good acceptance of the government. I'm a founding member of the Tanzania Startup Association. We started this because we wanted to have conversation with the government in the table, and now the government is giving us a table. Before then, we didn't have the table within the government. The Tanzania Startup Association is sitting to Tanzania National Business Council, which is a presidential council. Most of the time, the president is visiting different country abroad. Is taking the representation of Tanzania Startup Association. The ministries have started the conversation with TSA on issues like to start the Tanzania what we call startup policy. So the conversation is there, and the vibrancy is really, really fast. But what I'm loving is that potential of Tanzania, especially the innovation ecosystem and tech entrepreneurship ecosystem, is the strategic alignment, the strategic position of Tanzania, where we are connected to the hinterland. So I think that will be very fine and very interesting times where Tanzania is sitting at that strategic positioning, and our startup will have a bigger chances to explore more bigger market comparatively. So yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Adam, for these valuable insights. Indeed, it's always a good sign, when you see this dynamism in the ecosystem and this variety of different stakeholders and players being engaged and involved. Talked about the private sector, about universities, the educational institutions in general, the existence of business angels network, and also we at Digital Africa, we were impressed by the quality of the applications we received in the last 2 weeks after the launch of the Codeful applications. Itoro, what we'd like to add, and maybe if you can also tell us more about the opportunities and the challenges that founders are facing today. Adam mentioned many positive points, Joseph as well, but let us know more.
Oh, thank you very much. I would say that Tanzania's innovation ecosystem is vibrant and it's growing. And like Adam has mentioned, it has a growing population. With increasing mobile internet penetration, I would say one of the opportunities is leveraging on that, with the young population adopting technology and digital solutions. One of the challenges I would say, and I think it's across different ecosystems also, including Tanzania, is access to funding. Some of the largest fundings across the continent have been focused in very specific areas, and one of them has been some of the big 5 countries: Nigeria, Egypt, South Africa, and a couple of others. So Tanzania, there are opportunities for providing more access to markets and funding. So Fuzé challenge coming to Tanzania, I think, is one of the good things to kind of like provide funding for startups. And then we also have organizations like Sahara Ventures too that are also supporting some of this, and Ennovate. So the innovation ecosystem here also is growing and they are connected. Joseph had mentioned some of the associations like the Tanzania Startup Association and then the Tanzanian Hub Networks, which are also supporting the entrepreneurs. So there are opportunities to grow, there are opportunities to support startups here, and for funding opportunities also, where we are hoping to support that. And with the Fuzé Challenge, we see that happening.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, Itoro. And back to Yann. Yann, we would like to know why Digital Africa chose to visit Tanzania, but maybe before that, tell us a bit more about Fuzé in particular, the track record that Fuzé has already today.
Yeah, sure. So Fuzé, it is the investment facility of Digital Africa. So we invest with ticket size ranging from 20 to 100k euros. So 20k euros is for pre-MVP startup, 50k for startup starting generating revenue, and 100k when we can align with a co-investor and support the company. And so far, we invested in 60 startups across the continent. So it's important to know that at the beginning we were only focused on Francophone Africa, and since 1 year now, we are targeting the whole continent. And among these 60 investments, we have 7 in East Africa, spread across Rwanda, Uganda, and Zambia. And you can feel it. The objective is to add Tanzania to this list. That's why we are coming to you to meet you guys, meet the vibrant ecosystem of tech founders, and hopefully having our first startups in Tanzania.
Great. You mentioned 60 investments so far in 2.5 years, Yann, which positions Digital Africa among the most active VC investors in Africa in terms of the number of deals in seed and pre-seed. In which sectors did Digital Africa invest so far?
That's a good question. In fact, we are sector agnostic. So we look at everything. We have health tech, fintechs, we have agtechs, we have e-commerce platform, we have creative industries also. There are not so many investors doing that. That's what that make the difference also. And so we look at everything as long as we have a growth opportunity. It's a tech company or tech-enabled company with either revenue or operations in Africa.
Great. So this is not the first time we're doing a Fuzé challenge, Yann. You've been part of other Fuzé challenges. Tell us some examples of previous editions and maybe the outcomes of the challenges.
Yeah, definitely. So we made few challenges across the 2 past years in Benin, Togo, DRC, and Zambia, Zimbabwe, Uganda also, even Morocco a few months ago. So the goal for us is to meet the ecosystem, to meet the founders, organize the pitch sessions across 1 or 2 days, and having different entrepreneurs. And at the end of the mission, our objective, more than an objective, it's a commitment. So it's a commitment to invest at least 1 startup from the pitch sessions. And that's what we did through our previous challenges. And it will be the same for Tanzania as well.
Thank you, Yann. And just to remind that there's the investment tickets that Yann had mentioned, 20, 50, and 100K, but there is also the support offer of Digital Africa, which includes access to a pool of experts in different areas, tools, visibility, and events where startups can attend some big events in Africa, but in Europe also in other countries. So to go back to the visit, so the delegation of Digital Africa will be in Dar es Salaam from 23rd to the 25th. Adam, the 24th is the day that matters the most for the startups that are maybe attending the webinar today. What should they expect from this day? What's the planning?
Thank you very much. So first of all, this time challenge will be hosted at Sahara Space, the space looking on my background. And the program is being organized to start with a one-on-one training. Then there's a boot camp for the teams to be preparing. Then there's a pitching where there will be a set of the pitch. All the same will be happening here at Sahara Space. But also, excitingly, they have organized what we call ecosystem mixer, where later in the day, to be communicated, there will be an event where the ecosystem could meet and engage and network. So it's going to be an exciting week.
Exactly, exciting week. A long day, the 24th for the Digital Africa team as well, who will be meeting the startups. Around 15 startups will be selected. So you know, when it take place, Sahara Ventures Dar es Salaam. Yann, what's the format of the pitching? So we know that there will be 15 startups pitching on the 24th. How does it work?
Yeah. We invite you to apply and send us your candidature through our platform. I think we will provide the link in the comment section. Do not hesitate to apply with your projects. We will review each application, and we will call the best startups for the pitch sessions. So basically, it's 1 or 2 days of sessions of pitch, and it's around 10 minutes of pitch, 10 to 15 minutes, and also 10 to 15 minutes of Q&A sessions. And at the end of the day, we will decide which startups we decide to invest in first. And one interesting thing is that it's not a grant, it's not a cash prize. It's an investment. That will give you the opportunity to attract more investors later on. So we will lead the best startup through our investment process, and at the end of the day, they can get an investment ticket and also the support from our platform team.
Exactly, Yann. And so, indeed, a very long day of pitches, reviewing pitch decks, scoring sheets for the jury members. But as Adam said, there is a mixer at the end of the day. It's an occasion to celebrate Tanzanian tech together. Joseph, tell us more about the mixer. What should we expect from the mixer on the 24th?
Yes. So on the mixer, we'll have a diverse range of ecosystem players. So we'll be having from angel investors, startup, police regulators, and also financial institution, and other hubs that will be able to join. So it won't be formal kind of engagement. So it will be more of interaction between ecosystem players, get to learn and engage in a different conversation around supporting the tech ecosystem and investment readiness. So we'll have a good range of audience and ecosystem players. So just know that prepare to come and close some few deals with some investors, and then maybe also you can even secure some partnership with different players. Yes. So what I can say is it's going to be one of the night that you would want to miss. Yeah.
That's great. That will be also the opportunity to meet all of you in person. So all of our panelists will be at the mixer, and you are very welcome to join us. The mixer in Dar es Salaam again on the 24th of June at 6 p.m. More details will be shared with you later about the venue and the invitation. So stay tuned. And so we know that pitching is not easy for most of the entrepreneurs, and it requires preparation, structuring the pitch deck. Itoro, you are leading the bootcamp that will take place just before the pitch sessions to make sure that the founders are super ready for the D-Day. Tell us more about the bootcamp and what the startups should expect from this and why they should attend.
Okay, so the bootcamp is meant to support the startups. So after they get selected, we'll put them through a one-day bootcamp. And this bootcamp is being implemented by TechQuest Academy and Kamatech. And like I mentioned earlier, TechQuest provides early stage startups with digital, with support for building their startups. We have provided funding. We have provided support for startups on like the TechQuest program, and our partner Kamatech, they are an African tech advisory organization that drive innovation, investment, and growth. So together, we'll be implementing that one-day bootcamp. And so what the startups are expected in the bootcamp is that we want it to be high impact, and that one-day training what they will do is that we're trying to intentionally align with the broader Fuzé vision to not just equip, not just provide funding, but also provide the startups with tools, confidence, and the networks for them to be able to scale. So we'll be doing investment readiness fundamentals, and then investor documentation, where we walk them through the data room and financial essentials, so that how they are going to prepare for getting investment ready, looking at the traction metrics and other things. We'll also have there will also be opportunities for some of the startups to pitch prior to the main pitching, so that they can get some real-time feedback and also peer-to-peer feedback, where it's going to be a learning moment for all the startups that will be there. There'll also be an opportunity to discuss with a startup that has already raised funding, so that they can share experiences. And then it's also an opportunity for the other startups to ask questions, and then also develop more on their innovation and how they would present it. So we're looking forward to seeing the startups in Tanzania. The applications, they are still open. And then if you've not applied and you're a startup here in Tanzania, please apply to the Fuzé Challenge. And for you to apply, you go to applications.fuzé.digital-africa.co. We will share it in the chat box for everyone that would like to apply. But these are some of the things that we are looking forward to seeing the startups there.
Thanks, Itoro. So if you are a selected startup, don't miss this opportunity. To make your pitch a success on the 24th. As Itoro said, there's the link somewhere appearing on the screen, and on our website as well, on our LinkedIn page, on all our social media, depending on which platform you're attending the webinar today. And don't forget to drop your questions before the webinar ends. We still have a couple of minutes, but still with you, Itoro, as a Digital Africa connector. So we talked about the Tanzanian ecosystem, and you highlighted some challenges that the Tanzanian founders are facing. We talked also about the opportunities that we have in Tanzania for the tech startups. How Fuzé can bring value to these startups?
Okay, so first I'll just talk a bit about the Digital Africa connectors. So Digital Africa, as part of trying to support entrepreneurs across the continent, to ensure that it's relevant, and then access to on-ground, 15 connectors were selected across Africa, of which I'm one of them. And I also mentioned that one of the implementing partners for the bootcamp is 𝐏𝐢𝐭𝐜𝐡, which is also being led by one of our other connectors, 𝐟𝐮𝐧𝐝𝐞𝐝, who would also be joining us in Tanzania to implement the bootcamp. So the idea of the connectors is to ensure that we are organizing activities across the continent. We are mobilizing resources, connecting entrepreneurs, innovation hubs, providing access to connections, and also mapping the different ecosystems also. So as part of the Fuzé Challenge, for the entrepreneurs, it's an opportunity for them to get access to networks, to get access to funding and investment, and also to be able to provide more skills or talent, provide more learning for their startups, So the learning from the bootcamp would support them in not just only getting funding, but also building access to networks, access to markets, and just generally providing them, apart from the capital, some of the resources that they would need and the tools for that. So the Fuzé Challenge will be very good for the startups that apply, and we are looking forward to that.
Thanks, Itoro. This brings us to the final part of our session. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comment section or the Q&A section. As a reminder, applications are still open, and we will be happy to receive your application and to meet you on the 24th if you are selected. Maybe we're waiting for receive some questions. Maybe a final advice, Joseph, Adam, for the founders who may be watching us today, maybe wondering, asking questions about whether it's still relevant or not to be part of Fuzé Challenge. What's your final advice or message?
I think I'll start with, I think what's important any entrepreneur should know is if he wants to scale, need to fundraise, and for them to fundraise, they need to expose themselves to a different ecosystems. And what I've loved about the Fuzé challenge is exposing these startup companies to a different landscape of investors. And I'm watching, I know a lot of other investors will be watching what is happening here, trying to see what are the kind of startups that have selected that managed to pitch and all. But what is also important is it is very also advantageous for them to get a diverse coaching facilities or teams. We are, for the first time, for many years, the Tanzanian ecosystem has been, I will use the word, fused within their own box of experts and supporting facilities, and mixing them with their advanced ecosystems like the Nigerian, the South Africa, and the rest. I think it's a good mix, and it exposes us with new skills and learnings from other ecosystems. And this is why actually Sahara Ventures shared its opportunity why we want to work with this or be part of this challenge, for us to at least engage and learn more skills, as well as exchange ideas within. So beyond the price, beyond the fundraising, also you get an opportunity to get to understand what are other markets there, and you get to meet people that have supported the other markets potentially that you can be using here. So that's my word.
Thanks a lot, Adam. Joseph, you'd like to add something?
Yeah. So one thing maybe I can say is we've observed over many years, many of the programs that we get in the country, maybe focusing on providing grants to these businesses, but we have very few incidences that we can report that these businesses have been presented with investment. So this is a unique chance for businesses to get more than finance. So when you receive investment, that means you receive a partner in growth. So that means apart from the funding that you receive, that means you get access to the Fuzé network of other investors. That means they're able to connect you with other investors, and most investors, they would want to invest in businesses that they have already been invested for. So if I think most businesses in Tanzania, this is a unique chance for you to create your growth and obtain a partner that will support you for your growth of your business and also for sustainability. Yeah, so I think Adam have put a lot of things in a good context. So I think maybe that's something that I would love to.
Great. Thanks a lot, Joseph. So you know what's left to do. Dear founders, apply to meet us. And if you are a startup, or as I said at the beginning of this webinar, an investor or local startup support organization, we will be happy to have you at the mixer as well. on 24, not necessarily to come to pitch to us. We have a question from Ibrahim. For an early stage company that has not yet finished the MVP, is it eligible? Yann,
Yeah.
would you like to?
Yeah, that's a good question, Ibrahim. So we have different ticket size. So our 20K ticket is definitely for this type of startups. It's for pre-MVP startup. So we encourage you to apply. Now the process is competitive. So for a pre-MVP startup, make sure that you have a disruptive solution or a solution with a strong growth capacity. But we encourage you to apply anyway. Yeah.
Thanks, Yann. Do we have other questions? And by the way, this is very well reflected in the portfolio of Digital Africa today. We have startups in different stages, not only in various sectors and geographies. See if we have other questions coming in. Maybe in the meantime, to go back on the coming steps. So following the submission of your application, there will be a screening phase. So the Digital Africa team, investment team, will review the applications, shortlist those who are eligible for our investment fund Fuzé. Then they will get contacted with all the details about the coming, about the next steps. I think we are good with the question. We don't have any other questions. Any final remark you would like to add, Yann?
I think we said it all. But once again, we are very happy to go to Tanzania, and I hope I will meet you there either for the pitch sessions or during our mixer event. And yeah, that's it for mine. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, and once again, thank you all for joining us today, and special thanks to Usman and Tarek, who are behind the screens, behind the scenes. We don't see them in the screen, but who are supporting us for this webinar as well. Many thanks, and see you soon. Thanks for joining us.